year is 75 BC, the cold waters of the Aegean Sea. A young Roman aristocrat is fleeing for his life. He is drowning in debt, his career is in ruins, and the assassins of the dictator Sulla are hunting him. No, fate has a darker trial in store. His ship is boarded by Cilician pirates. In the ancient world, this was the end. The Cilicians were fanatical butchers who knew no mercy. Usually, they didn't take prisoners for ransom. They either killed them instantly or sold them into the mines, where men died within months. Julius Caesar was now in their hands, an exile without an army, without money, and without a future. In this moment, world history could have ended. The great Roman Empire might never have been born, and the name Caesar would be nothing but a footnote. But here, in a filthy cage on a pirate ship, Caesar discovered a secret technology of power, a technology he would later use to bring the entire world to its knees. This isn't just a story about a kidnapping. It's a psychological masterclass in how one man managed to seize control of an entire army while being their prisoner. How do you turn humiliation into a triumph of will? And what is the price of a human life if you aren't afraid to lose it? Get ready. We are entering the cell of a man who refused to be a victim when survival seemed impossible. When the pirates named the price for his life, they expected to see fear. They expected pleas or tears from a man who realized his own insignificance. Their leader announced the figure, 20 talents of silver. To give you some perspective, that amount could maintain a small fleet for a month. It was the price of a city's freedom. But Caesar did something that paralyzed the pirates' will. He laughed in their faces. This wasn't the nervous laughter of a victim. It was the laugh of a man who had just heard a very stupid joke. Looking them in the eye, Caesar said, "You have no idea who you've caught. If you think I'm worth a measly 20 talents, you are insulting my status. My price is 50, and not a sesterce less." A dead silence fell over the deck. Pirates, accustomed to killing for a copper coin, faced a paradox. The prisoner wasn't bargaining. He was demanding they more than double the price for his head. Why was this move a stroke of psychological genius? Because Caesar understood a fundamental law of power. The world values you exactly as much as you value yourself. If you price yourself cheap, you are disposable. You can be killed the moment you become a nuisance. But if you are worth a fortune, you become a priceless asset. Now the pirates were forced to guard him better than their own gold. Any scratch on his skin was now a loss for their pockets. With one short sentence, Caesar completely seized control of the situation. He forced his own reality onto the enemy. He stopped being prey and became an investment. The pirates began to look at him not from the top down, but from the bottom up, wondering who this man was that valued his life higher than all the treasures in their hold. This is the Stoic insight that remains relevant 2,000 years later. We often complain that life gives us too little money, respect, or love. No, the truth is, we set our own price tag at 20 talents because we're afraid that if we ask for more, we'll get nothing. Caesar risked everything to show that your self-worth is the only barrier against chaos. If you act like a cheap product, the world will buy you at a discount. Think about how often you settle for less out of fear. Caesar didn't know if he would live or die, but he had already won because, in his world, there was no force capable of lowering his internal price. After the ransom was settled, Caesar was moved to the tiny island of Pharmacusa. He was left there under the guard of a few dozen men. You'd think he would stay quiet and wait for the money. Instead, the next 38 days became a psychological experiment. Imagine, you are on an island with murderers and thieves. You have no sword, no guards, no power. But Caesar acted as if the pirates were his guests. He set the rules from hour one. When Caesar went to sleep, he would send a servant to the pirates with an order. "Be quiet. My master's resting." And incredibly, these wild men, who obeyed no laws, would drop to a whisper. Why? Because there was something in Caesar that scared them more than death. An absolute, unshakable confidence in his own superiority. During the day, he didn't hide. He forced them to listen to his speeches and poems. He trained with them, competed in races, and laughed at their clumsiness, calling them uneducated barbarians to their faces. It was Stockholm Syndrome in reverse. The pirates began to seek his approval. The prisoner became their informal leader. But there was a chilling element to this game. Caesar would often drink wine with them, and then, looking the leader in the eye, he would smile and say, "You're great guys. It's a shame that when I'm free, I'll have to come back and crucify every one of you." The pirates would roar with laughter, taking it for the ultimate Roman joke. They thought the aristocrat was just playing at being great, but behind that smile was a cold calculation. Caesar was practicing what psychologists call desensitization. He stated his intentions openly, making them seem harmless and routine. He tamed their fear. This is Stoicism in action. Your internal freedom determines your external reality. Caesar refused to accept the role of a victim. For him, the island wasn't a prison, it was a stage. We often tell ourselves, "I'll start living fully once I solve my problems or pay off my debts." Caesar teaches us the opposite. You must start living as a winner right now, in the middle of your crisis. If you can't control the walls of your prison, start controlling those who stand guard. Ask yourself, how are you spending your time in captivity? Are you waiting to be saved, huddled in a corner? Or like Caesar, are you writing poetry in the face of fate and dictating terms to those trying to break you? The pirates thought they were playing with a harmless madman. They didn't realize they were looking at a man who had already passed judgment on them, and that judgment was only a matter of time. After 38 days, the ships with the silver arrived. 50 talents, the price Caesar set for himself, were paid. The pirates celebrated their record-breaking haul. They let him go in peace, certain this story would become their favorite tale to tell in harbor taverns. But the moment Caesar's feet touched the ground in Miletus, the mask of the charming aristocrat fell away. Anyone else would have run to safety, but Caesar was not anyone else. Without any official authority, using only his reputation and sheer fury, he mobilized 4 galleys and 500 volunteers. He didn't sleep, he didn't celebrate his freedom. He set sail that very night. When his fleet appeared on the horizon, the pirates were still dividing the silver. They were so confident in their power that they hadn't even posted a guard. They forgot what he had promised them every day, looking them in the eye. The attack was lightning fast. Most of the pirates were captured, and all 50 talents, plus all their stolen treasures, were returned to Caesar. Here comes the darkest part of the story. The local governor wanted to sell the pirates into slavery to line his own pockets. For Caesar, this was unacceptable. It was a breach of his personal code. He had promised them death, and Caesar always paid his debts. He took the prisoners into his own custody and ordered the crosses to be raised. But here a terrifying trait appeared: the mercy of Caesar. Remembering their time on the island, he ordered their throats cut before they were crucified to spare them the agony of the cross. In his world, this was an act of kindness. In ours, it is the cold finale of a psychological thriller. What is the ultimate lesson here? Stoicism is often mistaken for passivity, but true Stoicism is about absolute loyalty to your word and your purpose. If you say you will destroy your demons, you must go back and do it. Otherwise, your confidence on the island was just cheap acting. We often make promises in moments of crisis. We swear that if we get out of this hole, we'll change our lives. But as soon as the danger passes, we relax. We let our pirates live on inside us. Caesar didn't return for the money. He returned to close the loop. He proved to himself that reality obeys the man who does not change his mind, whether he is in chains or on a throne. Your life is not what happens to you. It's how you finish your battles. Who will you be when you reach the shore? The one who sighs with relief and forgets? Or the one who turns the fleet around to finish what tried to break him? The story of Julius Caesar on Pharmacusa is a reminder. Even when you are at the bottom in a cage, you are already a winner. If only your will is strong enough to set your price and force the world to pay it.